Today on Public Eye News, Fresh Coast Film Festival returns to Marquette, and more on Trump's impeachment inquiry. Joseph Sigourney will have our forecast, and later Devontae Stein will have an update on NFL scores. Hi, I'm Maya Kurth, and this is Public Eye News. The Marketing and Communications Office at Northern Michigan University is holding a vlog competition for all current students. Videos should be about what life is like as an NMU student. Students are encouraged to include activities and clubs they're involved in, your classes, and if you live in the dorms. Videos should not be longer than 5 minutes and must be filmed in HD. The prize is a Barnes & Noble gift card of $300 for first, $200 for second, $100 for third. Yesterday, the Marquette Lions Club chapter celebrated their 100th year of being an organization in Marquette. Members throughout the Upper Peninsula got together for a celebration that was held at the Northern Center. The event included various speakers, one of which who was a previous international president for the Lions, Jimmy Ross. The Marquette Lions Club is also pushing for young adults who are looking for leadership opportunities to join the Leo Club. The Leo Club has 3 posts in the Upper Peninsula and is growing. For more information about the Lions, visit district10lions.org. Peter B. Shelifo is being honored by the Marquette County Veterans Alliance as Marquette County Veteran of the Year. Last Saturday, the Elks Club of Marquette held a ceremony for Shelifo, who was an active member of the Marquette American Legion Post 44. Shelifo served in the U.S. Army from 1954 to 1955, during which he received the National Defense Service Medal. He is also a senior leader within the Keweenaw Bay Indian Community Military Honor Guard, a volunteer at the Jacob Betty Home for Veterans, and has worked at the Marquette Branch Prison consoling veteran inmates. Shelifo was given awards by representatives such as Sarah Cambenzi, Karen Anderson, who thanked him for his service. The Michigan State Police Negaunee Post were involved with a firearm incident in Forsyth Township last night. At around 4:10 p.m., Forsyth Township officers arrived at a house on Crusader Street to check on the well-being of the house occupant. Officers were met with a 68-year-old man inside the residence branding a gun and firing towards the officers. The police then contacted the Michigan State Police, and once they arrived at the scene, they tried to communicate with the man and instructed him to put the weapon down, and were met with more shots fired in their direction. The suspect came outside with a long gun as he pointed it at police officers and shot at an officer. He was shot by an officer, and the man is in critical condition, and the officer who shot him is under administrative leave while an investigation is underway. Upper Peninsula film buffs will be excited to hear that the Fresh Coast Film Festival is back in Marquette for its 4th year. The event, which starts this Tuesday the 14th, will be a 4-day screening of film productions that were created by people in the Great Lakes region or based in the region. The event is held in various locations across Marquette areas such as the Ordock Brewing Company, Black Rocks Brewing Company, and the Peter White Library, and over 120 films will be shown in those 4 days. Also at the event, viewings will contain keynote speakers and walking tours during the weekend. The event goes from Thursday through Sunday. The largest wine and beer festival in the Upper Peninsula had its 14th annual event in Escanaba Saturday. The Yooptoberfest started at 2 p.m. in Ludington Park on October 12th and had food, music, and beer. It was a cold fall day, averaging about 45 degrees during the event, but the attendees didn't seem to mind as they warmed themselves up with beer and danced the night away. The festival is a celebration of Michigan beer and breweries from both the Upper and Lower Peninsula. The breweries showed up to the event, giving patrons a wide range of tasting experiences. The event was organized to raise money for the United Way, a nonprofit charity that is involved in helping families be successful in spite of poverty, and several other charities. The organizers expect $10,000 to be raised for this charity. And after this break, we'll have national and international news.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, X marks the spot for vintage treasures when we check out the stuff of a generation.
It's amazing. It's
wow.
awesome.
Wow, very cool.
Get out, really?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
That's pretty staggering.
Really? That's kind of amazing. Oh my.
Don't miss our special edition Antiques Roadshow, the Gen X years.
tonight at 8 and tomorrow afternoon at 3.
Welcome back. The creators of Sesame Street are introducing an episode that teaches children about addiction. Carly, a friend of Elmo on the show, delves into her mother's past struggle with addiction. The creators of the show hope that talking to children about difficult topics helps those who may be in a similar family situation with ways to cope with what is going on around them. The episode shows how the different characters deal with their feelings and how talking about what they feel will help them. This episode will only be available to be viewed online and will be accompanied by resources for children. Congress returns from a 2-week recess tomorrow, but the White House's impeachment inquiry into President Trump continued through the break. And today, investigators are deposing another former Trump administration official. Bofta Yeeman has more details from Capitol Hill.
Fiona Hill, President Trump's former Russia expert at the White House, arrived on Capitol Hill for closed-door testimony Monday.
The tragedy here and the crime here is that the American people don't get to see what's going on in these sessions.
Ms. Hill is expected to tell lawmakers the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, and his ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, ran their own policies in Ukraine outside of the usual channels. CBS News learned the Justice Department is looking into whether Giuliani violated foreign lobbying regulations. The investigation stems from last week's arrest of Lev Parnas and Igor Fruman, who are charged with funneling foreign donations.
See you in Ukraine soon.
The two helped arrange meetings for Giuliani as he pushed Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden and his son Hunter, who sat on the board of a Ukrainian gas company.
No one has asserted that I have done anything wrong except a lying president.
Biden said this weekend his family members will not work for foreign corporations if he's elected president. And then his son Hunter announced he is resigning from the board of a Chinese investment company. The whistleblower whose report exposed President Trump's Ukrainian phone call leading to this official impeachment inquiry may not be coming to Capitol Hill.
It may not be necessary to take steps that might reveal the whistleblower's identity to do that, and we're going to make sure we protect that whistleblower.
But his identity is exactly what the president wants.
Why are we protecting a person that tells you things that weren't true?
President Trump tweeted this morning, "We must determine the whistleblower's identity to determine why this was done to the USA." Bofta Imam, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Residents in Nagano, Japan are recovering after a major typhoon that hit Saturday. Typhoon Hagibis brought 39 inches of rain and dangerous winds in a 48-hour span. Many homes and roads have been compromised due to flooding and mudslides. Reports from Japan show 48 people have been killed and over 100 have been injured. Power companies in Japan have reports that over 35,000 homes are still without power. Areas of Miyagi and Fukushima were also affected by Typhoon Hagibis. President Trump is defending his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Syria, leaving Turkey and Kurdish forces to battle each other. Amid the escalating violence, hundreds of ISIS supporters have escaped from a detention camp where the U.S. allied Kurds have been holding them. Katherine Johnson has the latest from the White House.
As Turkish forces pushed deeper into Syria, White House Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says economic sanctions against Turkey are ready to go.
This is a complicated situation. A NATO ally, Turkey is a full member of NATO and an ally of ours, who is now fighting over border issues with the Kurds who have helped us with ISIS.
About 1,000 U.S. troops have been in northeast Syria fighting ISIS alongside the Kurds. With the U.S. pullback, Kurdish fighters have now reached a deal with Syria for help against Turkey. Amid the escalating violence, hundreds of ISIS supporters have escaped. In a tweet, President Trump said the Kurds may be releasing them to get the U.S. involved, adding they could easily be recaptured. The White House has said economic sanctions will destroy the Turkish economy, but even Republicans have a mixed reaction to the plan.
We're going to send a signal to Turkey that's unmistakable in the eyes of Erdogan and the world, and we're going to break his economy until he stops the bloodshed.
I think it is not necessarily going to prevent Turkey from doing what they're doing. This has been Turkey's dream for a long time, and the president basically gave the green light to do it.
In response to his critics, the president also tweeted, "The same people who got us in are the people who most want to stay there." Katherine Johnson, CBS News, the White House.
And after this break, we'll have weather and sports.
My campaign against drugs will not stop until the last pusher and the last drug lord are...
Tuesday night at 10 after Retro Report.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Joseph Sigourney. Right now we're taking a look at current conditions on our sky cam. Looks like there's a little bit of a rain/mixed snow coming down, and that's pretty cloudy, and classes are winding down. Our current conditions are mostly cloudy, high of 46, and winds west at 14 miles per hour, and the barometric pressure is 29.92 inches and rising. Tonight, it is going to be partly cloudy with a low of 35 degrees and southwest winds at 20 miles per hour. And tomorrow, you can expect a lot of rain, high of 47, and southeast winds at 17 miles per hour. Now, looking at our temperatures across the UP, in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 46, in Manistique 49, Escanaba 49, and Menominee 49. And here on the other side, in Iron Mountain 47, Manistique, Ironwood 46, Houghton 44, and back here in Marquette 46. And looking ahead, on Wednesday, it will be 48 degrees and a low of 38 and raining. And Thursday, a high of 49 with a low of 36 and cloudy. And Friday, a high of 53 and a low of 48 and partly cloudy. Well, this weather this weekend was pretty interesting and not the greatest, but it sounds like the the soccer team did pretty well in Houghton.
That's right. The women's soccer team traveled up to Houghton to take on rival Michigan Tech. The women came out of there with a 3-2 win. The Wildcats took an early lead, scoring on their first shot of the game coming from sophomore Caroline Hallinan. The teams would trade goals up until 2:33 left to play, when freshman Isabel Bruzula would find the back of the net for her first career goal and game winner, off of a perfect cross from freshman Evelyn Floor. The women are now back at home for 4 straight GLIAC Conference matchups, the first against number 3 Grand Valley this Friday. The women's volleyball brought out the broom, sweeping Wayne State back down to Detroit. The Wildcats won three sets with scores of 25-19, 25-14, and 25-21. Offensively for the women, Lizzie Stark led the team with 15 kills. Haley Wickstrom and Abigail Durecki had 7 kills each. Lauren Van Remortel dished out 34 assists on the day. Defensively, Lauren Caprini led the Wildcats with 12 digs, while Lizzie Starks had 9. Sarah Kuhn posted 5 blocks at the net. The women now prepare for the conference crossover next weekend. Opponents for the crossover are still to be announced. Checking out some NFL Week 6 action, the Patriots remain undefeated as they defeated the Giants 35-14. The Saints remain at the top of their division at 5-1, outlasting the Jaguars 13-6 in a low-scoring defensive match. The Cowboys dropped their 3rd straight game, losing to the previously winless Jets 24-22. Sam Darnold, in his first game back from injury, threw for 338 yards and found the end zone twice. Another team picking up their first win of the season, the Redskins defeat the Dolphins 17-16. Miami remains winless this season. The Texans best the Chiefs 31-24. Both those teams are now 4-2. Tyreek Hill recorded 80 yards and found the end zone twice on only 5 receptions. Deshaun Watson threw for 280 yards and had 3 total TDs on the day. Wrapping up Week 6 action tonight, the Lions travel up to Green Bay to take on their divisional rival, the Packers. Kickoff for that game is at 8:15 tonight. And that's all the time we have for today on Public Eye News. I'm Devontae Stein.
And I'm Maya Kurth. Thank you for watching and have a great evening.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.